Welcome to That Don't Sound Right. That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you couldn't prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
And I'm Cecil, and we hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, "That don't sound right," leave us a comment. You're one of us. Enjoy the show.
Hey, girls.
Hey, Dad.
Hi, Dad. So, welcome back to another week on That Don't Sound Right.
So I got a joke for y'all. How many podcasts does it take to change an LED light bulb?
Absolutely none. There are no light bulbs in podcasts.
Hey, welcome to That Don't Sound Right. I'm Cecil.
Hey, I'm Peter.
Hey, just want to remind y'all that we now have a email address if you want to get in touch with us for either feedback on topics or to give us topics or any other comments. That's That Don't Sound Right, tdsrpodcast, tdsrpodcast@gmail.com. We have some merchandise available, as we've been mentioning. We'll leave the links to that in the show notes and in the on the website. We are now available, of course, on our base Podbean, but also on Apple, which has been great, and soon, hopefully, on Spotify and Google.
All right.
So, last week's episode I've still been thinking about that. We're not coming back to it today, but that was a good one.
I tell you what, it still perplexes me, and it's amazing what my memory got jogged. It's literally, that was 30 years ago that I was thinking about that, right? I was skiing 20 years ago, but 30 years ago is when I was thinking about.
And we won't even tell you what we were talking about. That'll make you go back and listen to that podcast if that tees it up for you. But this week, probably about a month and a half ago, you come over to my house. You're excited about an upgrade to your car.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple of things that we need to talk about that. But I go outside, you open the door, I can instantly tell what the upgrade is because your car lights up like a runway.
Yeah.
So you had made the upgrade of all the interior lights, so the map lights, dome light, running board lights, puddle lights, upgraded all of the lights on your car to LEDs.
That's right.
And it makes a significant change.
Huge difference. I was surprised. My car is a 2014, and at that time when they were making cars, a lot of cars had LEDs as the technology for the interior lighting, but my car didn't, and I was a little disappointed. And I got a 2015, same make, a Toyota, and both of those still the incandescent lights. And I saw this upgrade kit, and I saw YouTube videos of it, and I thought, man, that's great because my old age, I need to see better.
Yeah, it does make a huge difference.
It does.
Now, I don't want to get too far into this, but I have made upgrades to my car before and then called certain people in my family out to experience the upgrade, and they are not. So I did this with a head unit on my Ford where the sound was going to be so much better. I said, "Can you hear a difference between this?
Listen to this.
And this?" And they were like, "No, I can't really hear a difference."
Yeah. That's pretty disappointing.
That can be disappointing. But I could hear the difference.
Sure.
And I could see the difference.
Yeah.
In the lights. The thing I was thinking about is that, so the LED technology is here.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s, the technology was the LCD, the light conserving diodes.
Okay.
So remember all like the Casio watches came out with the
That's
LCDs.
Right.
All the calculators were LCDs.
You called it light conserving diodes?
Does that not sound right?
That don't sound right.
I thought this LCD was a light conserving diode.
No.
What is it?
Liquid
Display?
crystal display.
I always thought that was light conserving diode.
No.
Really?
Yeah, LCD is liquid crystal display.
I thought it was a light.
Because there's no light, right?
There's no light. That's why I thought it was conserving light.
Yeah, it's definitely conserving light. There's no light.
I think I just learned something.
It's liquid
right
crystal.
here on the thing. Now, I've heard of liquid crystal display, but I thought it was light conserving diode.
No. Oh, no.
That is,
LED has always been light emitting diode. But I can see
light emitting.
that I can see the confusion.
Yes,
can
I
see
just learned something
Right
right here. I got that live on the podcast right now.
You don't see too many LCDs, really.
No, you don't see LCD. So my point
these
is, you
days.
don't see LCDs, even though I had it incorrect about what it was. So everything is LED now.
Everything's LEDs, but I couldn't tell you what your smartphone screen is. There's OLEDs.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the technology that makes a display on your flat screen TV. I should know this, but
Right. You're right. It's a different kind of technology. It's not LCD.
there used to be plasma TVs, right? Remember
Right.
the plasma TVs?
projection TVs.
Projection, so
Which
it
didn't
came
have to do with
projection,
the screen. yeah.
Plasma.
Yeah.
And then what did we go to now? Maybe these are LEDs. At least the first flat screen TVs were LEDs. They used a lot of LEDs to light up the pixels.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I never really thought about that.
But anyway, how did you get to LCD?
Well, I'm still reeling from the LCD thing.
How did you get to what we were going to talk about the LCD?
Well, so where I was going is that we're on LED. Everything's LED now,
Right.
including your headlights.
Yeah, for some of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So there's been this progression. All right. So when I first started changing headlights in my '68 Buick Scholar, that was my first car, '68 Buick Scholar. You changed the entire assembly.
Right. It was a sealed beam, right?
It was a sealed.
Everything
it was a sealed
right.
bulb, and the whole thing came out.
That's right.
So the first time I had a modern era car, it was a 80s era Chevrolet Celebrity diesel.
What?
Diesel, 4-door diesel.
A Chevrolet Celebrity diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah,
Now, you got to remember this was
I'm
the
sure
80s.
that didn't sound right.
Right. Well, you got to remember this was the 80s.
Yeah.
And Chevy was going heavy into diesel
They ruined it for everybody.
because gas prices were so high.
Right. Diesel was inexpensive.
Diesel was inexpensive. I had a Chevy diesel. Okay. So I had to go change the headlights.
All right.
So me, growing up on the 68, took the entire assembly out
to change the
to change the
what
bulb.
should have been the bulb.
I laid the assembly on the counter at the auto parts store, and the guy just looked at me, picked it up, undid the bulb, and I was like, "Oh, well, we've come a long way since '68." But at that point, you had the regular bulbs that have always been, I guess, the incandescent, and you might have had halogens,
Right. Which are still incandescent.
Yeah. So you had these halogen bulbs, which at that point, when we first went to halogens, people were not happy with that. I don't know if you remember.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, because they were too bright.
Oh, I can't imagine
Yeah,
people.
because they were considerably brighter than the regular bulb.
Sure.
And now we're on LEDs
Right.
for your headlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone to LED type, and they are bright.
They are bright. And if they're not aimed right, they're painful to look at.
Yeah. And so that's where I've been at today. It's like, have we gone too far in headlight technology? Have we just made it too good? Is what's considered a regular bulb too bright?
Well, there's two things they changed, right? They changed the brightness, but they also changed the color.
Yes.
And the question is it the color that's hurting your eyes, or is it the brightness?
Everything hurts my eyes now.
The brightness, I don't think, is changed all that much because I'm pretty sure there's a limit on how bright you can make it.
Right. Measured in candles.
Right, or lumens.
Right, or lumens, right.
But the question is, they changed the color, and then I wonder if the color is what hurts.
I've learned a lot on this podcast today.
Like, so these lights here, I mean, that's they measured in Kelvin. So your yellowish light, that's like in the 2000 range Kelvin, mid 2000s. And then
right.
when you get into daylight, you're getting close to 4,000 and 5,000.
Yes.
And you see those really bright blue ones, and that's in the 6,000 Kelvin.
Yes.
And I think it's those 5,000 and 6,000 that's hurting your eyes.
In the color range.
And it makes you think they're brighter.
Huh. That's interesting because they've got LEDs on a fish tank here.
Uh-huh.
And the blue LEDs they recommend that you not look into.
Yeah. Okay.
Not that I would be staring into them anyway,
Right.
but there's a warning on the higher end, the ones that are designed to bring out the color in the fish.
Yeah.
There's warnings on those bulbs.
Oh, wow.
But I'm just wondering. I remember this argument going on in the 80s, especially in the houses. And this argument mainly was inside my house. And now it's even more with the LED. I think it's even more prominent. But I wonder if that's true. I wonder if it's the color.
Could be. Or just the aiming.
Huh.
Right. So as soon as you start monkeying around with the aiming, you got a pretty bright light focused on your eyes, and that hurts.
Well, I think the biggest thing from this podcast is me learning that LCD was not light conserving diode. Because that didn't sound right at all.
TDSR.
That's why we have these conversations. I want to go and look that up now.
Do it. We'll come back next to it. You can call me a liar next one. We should have a segment on the show called Call Me a Liar.
We've been looking for a segment. Maybe that's it. Car Talk used to have that. It's called Stump the Chump.
That's right. It's where they go back and they revisit a caller and they see if they got it right.
Yeah.
And we can call me a liar.
Yeah.
It's like someone calls in and said, "You're a liar. There's no way there's anything to do with bright lights and the color of the lights. The lights are crazy."
That was one of my favorite Car Talk segments, was Stump the Chumps.
Oh, yeah. It is funny.
They had sound effects.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Well, if you listen to us on whatever your favorite platform is, please leave a review. That helps other people to find us. And I think that is it for this week.
Yeah, give us an email. Call us a liar.
Thank y'all for listening, and we will see you next week.
All right. Bye now.
Good job. Where's Mom at?
Walking, Hazel. Hey, what's the vibe?